with or without the presence of the Vice President, with or without her cooperation, tuloy ang mandato ng komite. Si Mary Grace Piatos ay wala sa data ng PSA. Except for the resource persons who have taken their oath already during our last hearing on April 14, may we request the rest of the resource persons to please rise so that the oath will be administered. Comsec, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this committee? Thank you.
For the organized presentation of our evidence and resource persons, the chair would like to announce the order of presentation of our resource persons. The first will be the Ombudsman, followed by the AMLC, and then the BIR, and then the SEC, and last will be former Senator Sani Trillanes. We will be following the said order. Before we proceed to the presentation of our resource persons, may we know from the COMSEC whether the documents submitted during the last hearing, that is April 14, have been furnished to the Vice President, the complainants, and all the Justice members. COMSEC?
Your Honor, the documents received on April 14 from the Securities and Exchange Commission, the Commission on Audit, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, insofar as the transmittal only, were received on April 14, and on April 16, we received from the Commission on Audit the decision number 2026-171 dated April 10, the notice of disallowance and transmittal. These were sent to all members of the Committee on Justice, regular and ex officio, and as well as to the respondent and counsel and complainants and counsel, Your Honor. As far as the submissions of the Securities and Exchange Commission and the Commission on Audit were concerned, these were sent to the Office of the Vice President on April 15, 5:56 p.m., and acknowledged by the Central Records Unit of the same office. It was also sent to the complainant Saballa et al. Through Attorney Amando Virgil Ligutan on April 21, 3:16 p.m. and acknowledged on April 21, 3:50 p.m. It was also sent to Attorney Nathaniel Cabrera on April 21, 2026 at 3:16 p.m. For the April 16 submission of the Commission on Audit, it was sent to the respondent, Office of the Vice President, and Fortune Narvasa and Salazar on April 16, and acknowledged by the Central Records Unit of the Office of the Vice President on April 17, 10:25 a.m. It was also sent to the complainants, Saballa, through Attorney Amando Virgil Ligutan on April 16, 8:26 a.m. and acknowledged on April 21, 7:38 a.m. It was also sent to the complainant, Attorney Nathaniel Cabrera, on April 21 at 3:16 p.m. As far as the documents from the Bureau of Internal Revenue are concerned, the transmittal only were sent to the respondent and counsel on April 21 at 10:54 a.m. and to the complainants on April 21, 10:56 a.m. for the Saballa et al. Impeachment complaint, and for the complainant Attorney Nathaniel G. Cabrera, it was sent on April 21, 10:56 a.m. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you, COMSEC. We shall now commence the presentation of our resource persons, including the documents that they will be submitting to this committee. The floor is now open for clarificatory questions of the Justice members.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Chua is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, since nandito na po yung ating ombudsman, base po sa imbitasyon ng subpoena na itong committee, Pwede po ba ako mag-proceed para sa aking clarificatory question?
You may proceed, Honorable Chua.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Ombudsman, kayo po ay naanyahan ngayong araw para makapagdala po ng SALN ng ating Vice President base po sa para po makatulong sa amin sa determination of probable cause sa SALN violation or sa ill-gotten wealth. Pwede ko po bang matanong kung dala po ninyo yung SALN ng ating Vice President?
Magandang umaga po. Dala po namin ang mga SALN na hinihingi po ng komite ayon sa subpoena duces tecum na inyong ibinigay sa amin.
May we direct the committee secretary to receive the copy of the SALNs which are being submitted by the Office of the Ombudsman so that the same will form part of the records of our proceeding. Ombudsman?
Bago ho nagsimula ang ating pagdinig, ibinigay na po namin ang mga kopya ng subpoena, mga kopya ng mga dokumentong hinihingi ng komite sa amin.
The committee notes that the Ombudsman already submitted ahead of the commencement of this proceeding. Honorable Chua?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, gusto ko pong tanungin ng ating Ombudsman kasi base po dun sa paragraph 107 ng Sabalya Complaint, ang ating pong Vice Presidente ay naging Vice Mayor ng Davao noong taong 2007 hanggang 2010. At siya rin po ay naging alkalde ng Davao mula 2010 hanggang 2013, 2016 hanggang 2019, at 2019 hanggang 2022. But I notice, Madam Chair, ang naibigay lamang sa ating mga dokumento dito ay mula 2016 hanggang 2024. Pwede ko po bang malaman nasaan po yung SALN nung taong 2007 hanggang 2015 nung ang ating pong Vice President ay Vice Mayor at Mayor ng Davao?
Isang ano lang ho, no? Isang paglilinaw. Kasama ko po rito ang aming opisyal ng Ombudsman, si Attorney Karen Batu ng Central Records Division upang sumagot po sa mga tanong na partikular tungkol po sa mga dokumento sapagkat hindi ko po nakakikita itong mga dokumentong ito sapagkat iba po ang aking ginagawa sa Office of the Ombudsman. Maaari po, ipasa na po ang mikropono kay Attorney Karen Batu.
We recognize Attorney Batu. Please answer the question.
Good morning, Your Honor. Based po dun sa submission namin earlier before the proceedings, kasama po sa sinabit namin yung 2007 to 2012 SALN ng ating Vice President. May certification din po tayo na yung subpoena po kasi is from 2007 to 2013, 2016 to 2022. So yung 2015 po hindi po kasama sa mga sinasubmit sa Office of the Ombudsman. Ang kulang lang po sa mga sinubmit namin.
Attorney Batu, if I may interrupt, kindly speak closer to the microphone.
Sige po. Sorry po. Ulitin ko po, Your Honor, ang meron po kaming sinubmit 2007 to 2012. Yung pong mga SALN na yon came from our office of the area office from the Mindanao kasi sila po yung repository or custodian ng SALN during the time na City Vice Mayor and Mayor po yung ating Vice President. So we requested pa po. So kasama po yun ngayon sa sinubmit namin. Nandun po yun sa submission namin before the proceedings.
Okay, kasi meron lamang po ako dito is 2016 hanggang 2024.
Kasama po yun sa binigay po namin sa COMSEC ngayon.
Okay. Anyway, with that, siguro magsisimula na lang akong magtanong from 2016 to 2024 dahil yun lang ang meron akong record dito at hindi po sa akin na ibigay ng...
If I may interrupt, Honorable Chua. COMSEC, please be directed to provide copy of the copy of the SALN submitted by the OMB to the justice members,
1
and
minute
later
recess.
to the complainant and the respondent.
Thank you. 2,000. Okay. Okay. May I proceed now, Madam Chair?
Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, gusto ko pong tanungin ang ating kagalang-galang na ombudsman. Base po dito sa SALN na isinumiti po ninyo dito sa committee, maaari niyo po bang i-confirm na yung SALN po ng ating Vice President noong taong 2007, habang siya po ay Vice Mayor ng Davao, ay may declared net worth na 7.250 million 497.
For the guidance of the justice members, the question is anchored on the 2016 SALN. So,
2007.
2007.
2007.
COMSEC kindly flash the concerned SALN for the guidance of the members.
2007. Declared net worth.
Your Honor, I will just read the content ng 2007 SALN ng ating Vice President. And it is stated here na ang kanyang net worth is 7,250,497.
Okay, so kinukonfirm po ninyo. Tama po.
Yun po yung nakalagay dito sa SALN
thank
niya.
you po.
Can we flash the amount of net worth? There. 7,250,000.
All right. So dito po sa 7,250,000 sa kanya pong SALN, magkano po yung kanyang dineklara na cash at saka cash deposit?
Again, reading from the SALN submitted by the Vice President, yung cash on hand and bank niya for the year, various years acquired is 2 million.
2 million. Okay, thank you po. Doon po sa kanyang 2008, sabi po niya, ang declared net worth po ng ating Vice President at that time, Vice Mayor po siya, noong 2008, is 18.493,616.65. Tama po ba to? Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, based on the 2008 submitted SALN, the net worth of the Vice President then is 18,493,616.65.
Okay. At magkano naman po ang dineklara niyang cash at cash deposit po sa kanyang SALN noong 2008?
Ang declaration po niya dito sa kanyang 2008 SALN is 2 million din po, Your Honor.
2 million na cash. Salamat po. Punta po tayo sa kanyang SALN noong 2009 habang siya po ay Vice Mayor ng Davao. May declared net worth po siya na 18,821,264.65. Tama po ba?
Please flash 2009 SALN.
Your Honor, again, reading from the 2009 submitted SALN of the Vice President, ang kanyang net worth then is 18,281,264.65.
Ano po? 18 million
281,264.65.
at 281, sorry. Okay. At magkano naman po ang kanyang dineclare na cash at cash deposit po dito?
Based on the submission of the Vice President, the cash on hand bank was 2,800,000 po.
2,800,000. Maraming salamat po. Dumako naman po tayo sa 2010 na SALN ng ating Vice President habang siya po ay Vice Mayor ng Davao. Meron po ditong nakadeclared na net worth na 16,242,886.65. Kinukumpirma po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, again, based on the submission of the 2010 SALN by the Vice President, her net worth then was 16,242,886.65.
Maraming salamat po. At magkakano naman po yung halaga na idineklara niya na cash at cash deposit po sa kanyang SALN noong 2010 SALN?
Based on her submission, the cash on hand bank during the time was 3,661,622.
Alright, maraming salamat po. Dumako naman po tayo sa 2011 na SALN po ng ating Vice President habang siya po ay Vice Mayor ng Davao. May declared net worth po siya na 14,271,148.45. Kinukumpirma po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, reading from the from the 2011 SALN submitted by the Vice President, her net worth then was declared as 14,271,148.46.
At magkano naman po ang halaga ng kanya na dineklara po niyang cash at cash deposit sa kanya pong SALN noong 2011?
The declared cash on hand bank for the 2011 SALN was 3,931,125.80.
Okay. Dumako naman po tayo sa kanyang 2012 na SALN habang siya po ay Vice Mayor ng Davao. Meron po siya ditong declared net worth na 22,116,101.93. Kinukumpirma po ba ninyo to?
Again, Your Honor, reading from the submitted 2012 SALN of the Vice President, her declared net worth was 22,116,101.93.
At magkano po yung kanyang dineklarang cash at cash deposit po sa nasabing taon, 2012?
Your Honor, yung declared cash on hand bank niya for the 2012 SALN was 4,320,532.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Pumunta naman po tayo sa kanyang 2016 SALN habang siya po ay alkalde po ng Davao. Dito po meron po siyang declared net worth nilang mag-asawa, no? 34,895,997. Ito po ba'y kinukumpirma ninyo?
Again, Your Honor, reading from the submitted SALN, 2016 SALN by the Vice President, ang nakalagay po dito na net worth niya is 34,895,997.
Maraming salamat po. At magkakano naman po yung kanyang dineklara na cash at cash deposit sa kanyang 2016 SALN?
Dito po sa kanyang 2016 SALN, ang nakalagay po na cash on hand bank, 3,750,760.
Maraming salamat po. Dumako naman po tayo sa kanyang 2017 SALN. Habang siya po ay alkalde ng Davao City, sabi po sa kanyang SALN, siya po ay nagdeklara ng 44,828,759. Kinukumpirma po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, reading from the submitted 2017 SALN of the Vice President, her net worth then was 44,828,759.
Maraming salamat po. At magkakano naman po yung kanyang declared cash at cash deposit noong taong 2017?
Based on her submission, Your Honor, the cash on hand and bank was declared to be 6,368,596.
Maraming salamat po. Dumako naman po tayo sa kanyang 2018 SALN habang siya po ay alkalde po ng Davao City. Tama po ba na ang declared net worth po nilang mag-asawa ay 49,699,728? Kino-confirm po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, again, I'm reading from the 2018 submission, SALN submission of the Vice President. Ang kanya pong declared net worth then was 49,699,728.
At magkakano man po dyan yung kanyang declared na cash at cash deposit noong taong 2018?
Based on her submission, Your Honor, ang declared cash po niya was 3,795,000.
All right. Dumako naman po tayo sa kanyang 2019 SALN habang siya po ay alkalde po ng Davao City. Ang kanya pong declared net worth nilang mag-asawa ay 55,613,051. Tama po ba to? Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, I'm reading the 2019 SALN submitted by the Vice President, and it is stated here that her net worth for then was 55,613,051 po.
At magkakano naman po yung kanyang cash at cash deposit noong taong 2019?
Your Honor, based po dito sa submission niya ng 2019 SALN, wala po nakadeclare na cash on hand.
Wala
or
po,
bank.
walang cash or cash deposit na dineklara? 2019. Tignan po ninyo na maigi.
Your Honor, after checking it again, wala po nakalagay na
Alright.
cash on hand.
Wala pong cash
Or
on hand.
bank.
Dumako po tayo sa kanyang 2020 na SALN habang siya po ay alkalde ng Davao. Meron po siyang dineclare na net worth nilang mag-asawa 56,583,735.01. Kino-confirma po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, again, reading from the submitted 2020 SALN of the Vice President, ang declared net worth po niyan at the time was 56,583,735.1.
At magkakano naman po yung kanyang cash at cash deposit noong taong 2020?
Your Honor, based on this 2020 SALN, wala pong nakadeclare na cash on hand or cash deposit ang Vice
Wala rin
President.
pong cash tsaka cash deposit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Paki-double check po ninyo.
Your Honor, after checking it, we can confirm na wala pong nakalagay na cash on hand or deposit na declared sa 2020 SALN of the Vice President.
Okay, thank you po. Punta po tayo sa kanyang 2021 na SALN habang siya po ay alkalde ng Davao. Ang kanya pong declared net worth nilang mag-asawa po dito ay 65,308,841. Tama po ba? Kinukumpirma po ba ninyo to?
Your Honor, again, I'm reading the 2021 SALN submitted by the Vice President at ang declared net worth po niya was 65,308,841.
At magkakano naman po yung kanyang declared na cash at cash deposit sa kanyang SALN noong 2021?
Your Honor, based on the 2021 submitted SALN of the Vice President, wala pong declared cash on hand or bank deposits.
So 3 taon na po na wala siyang declared, 19, 20, 21, tama po ba?
Based on the submitted SALN, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Dumako naman po tayo sa kanyang 2022 na SALN habang siya po ay Vice President. Ang kanya pong declared net worth nilang mag-asawa ay 71,058,841. Tama po ba? Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, again, I'm reading the 2022 SALN submitted by the Vice President at ang kanyang declared net worth for that year was 71,058,841.
At magkakano po yung kanyang declared na cash at cash deposit noong taong 2022?
Your Honor, based on the 2022 SALN submitted by the Vice President, wala po nakadeclare na na cash on hand or bank deposits.
Pakisiguraduhin po ninyo, baka namamalikmata lang po kayo.
Give us a few seconds, Your Honor. Your Honor, based on our second look for this SALN, wala din po talaga nakalagay na cash on hand or bank deposit.
Okay, so pupunta po tayo sa 2023. Dito po, meron pong sa kanyang SALN, meron po siyang declared net worth nilang mag-asawa, no? 77,508,841. Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, based on the submitted 2023 SALN of the Vice President, ang nakalagay po na net worth niya for that year was 77,508,841.
At magkakano naman po yung kanyang declared na cash at cash deposit noong taong 2023?
Your Honor, based on the 2023 SALN submission by the Vice President, wala pong nakalagay na cash on hand or bank deposits declared.
So sa 2023, wala pa rin po.
Wala po, Your Honor.
Okay. So, punta na po tayo sa kanyang declared SALN for the year 2024. Ang sabi po dito, meron po siyang declared net worth na 88,512,370.22. Tama po ba to?
Your Honor, based on the 2024 SALN submitted by the Vice President, the declared net worth then was 88,512,370.22.
At magkakano po yung kanyang cash deposit? Declared cash at saka cash deposit noong taong 2024.
Your Honor, reading from the 2024 SALN of the Vice President, wala pong nakadeclared na cash on hand or bank deposit for that year.
Wala pa rin po.
Yes, Your Honor.
So sa madaling salita, yung kanya pong cash na dineclare was only from 2007 up to 2018. Tama po ba?
Based on our received copies of the SALN, Your Honor, yun po yung lumalabas na years na meron po siyang declared cash on hand and bank deposits.
At noong 2019 at 2024, kahit na 5 po, wala po siyang dineklara na cash at saka cash on hand. Tama po ba?
Based on the submitted SALN, Your Honor, wala pong nakalagay na cash on hand or bank deposits.
Kahit 5 po?
Wala pong nakalagay, Your Honor.
Edi wow. Thank you po, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Chua. Any other member who wish to raise clarificatory questions? To the Ombudsman. Any other member?
Madam Chair,
The Honorable Barbers is recognized.
good morning, Honorable Ombudsman Remulla. Gusto ko po lamang humingi ng clarification sa inyong tanggapan. Based po sa SALN ng taong 2007, si VP Sara Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Manasseh Carpio ay mayroon pong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod. 1, Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation. Kinukumpirma nyo ba ito?
Si Attorney Karen Bato po yung pwede sumagot.
Yes, salamat.
Thank you. Attorney Bato is recognized.
Good morning, Your Honor. Again, reading from the 2007
May
SALN.
we interrupt Attorney Bato? We just like to extend our thanks to Ombudsman Boying Remulla for showing utmost respect to the impeachment process. Thank you for being here. He is soliciting our excuse because of huge amount of work he has to attend to. So with the indulgence of the members, we're excusing Ombudsman Boying Remulla. Maraming salamat po. We did not suspend. So, may we request Attorney Batu to address the questions of the Honorable Barbers.
Good morning, Your Honor. Again, reading from the 2007 SALN submitted by the Vice President, the business interest and financial connections declared then was the Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, and City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation.
May we flash the concern, Salen? What year is this, Honorable Barbers?
Now, 2008.
2008, okay. Now 2008, the focus is on the list of companies?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2008, si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Manasseh Carpio ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod. 1, Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation. 2, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. 3, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation. Kinukumpirma nyo ba ito?
Your Honor, reading from the 2008 submitted SALN of the Vice President, ang mga financial connections and business interests declared therein were Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, and City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation.
Salamat po. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2009, si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawang si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod. 1, Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation. 2, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. And 3, City Hall King Chow's Food Corporation. Kinukumpirma niyo ba ito?
Your Honor, based on the 2009 submitted SALN of the Vice President, the declared business interests and financial connections were the following: Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation.
Salamat po. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2010, si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroon business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod. 1. Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation. 2. Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. 3. City Hall King Chow's Foods Corporation. 4. SGT Fortune House Corporation. And number 5, CYKT Inc. Kinukumpirma niyo ba ito?
Your Honor, I'm reading from the 2010 submitted SALN of the Vice President, and the declared business interests and financial connections for that year were the following: Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation, SGT Fortune Horse Corporation, and CYKT Incorporated.
Salamat po. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2011, si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroon ding business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na negosyo. Number 1, Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation. Number 2, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. 3, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation. 4, SGT Fortune House Corporation. 5, CYKT Inc. And number 6, Zelta Matiem Salon. Number 7, 3 Kids Inc. Kinukumpirma niyo ba ito?
Based on the 2011 SALN submitted by the Vice President, Your Honor, the following were the declared business interests and financial connections. Davao Emerging Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, City Hall King Chow Foods Corporation, SGT Fortune Horse Corporation, CYKT Incorporated, and Celta Matiem Salon.
Salamat po. Sa taong 2016, based naman ho sa SALN ni VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mans Carpio, ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na negosyo. Number 1, Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation. Number 2, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. 3, Metro City Chow Foods Corporation. 4, Times Square B Foods Corporation. 5, SGT Fortune House Corporation. 6, CYKT Inc. 7, 3 Kids Inc. Tracking Services Inc. And number 8, Zelta Matiem Salon. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, I'm reading from the 2016 submitted SALN of the Vice President, and the declared business interests and financial connection for that year were the following: Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, Times Square B Foods Corporation, SGT Fortune Horse Corporation, CYKT Inc., 3 Kids Inc. Tracking Services, and Celta Matiem Salon.
Salamat po. And base naman po sa SALN ng taong 2017, si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroon din hong business interest and financial connections sa mga sumusunod na kumpanya. 1, Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation. 2, Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation. 3, Metro City Chow Foods Corporation. 4, Times Square B Foods Corporation. 5, CYKT Inc. And 6, Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines, Inc. Tama po ba?
Your Honor, again, I'm reading from the 2017 SALN submitted by the Vice President. Ito po yung kanyang mga declared business interests and financial connections. Davao New Royal Taipan Corp., Davao Bounty Times Food Corporation, Metro City Chow Foods Corp., Times Square B Foods Corp., CYKT Inc., Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc.
Maraming salamat po. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2018, si VP Duterte ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga negosyong sumusunod na mga kumpanya. 1. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation, and 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc. Kinukumpirma niyo po ba ito?
Your Honor, base po dito sa sinumiting SALN ng ating Vice Presidente noong 2018, ang kanyang mga diniklarang business interest and financial connection ay ang Davao New Royal Taipan Corp., Metro City Chow Foods Corp., Times Square B Foods Corp., Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc.
Salamat po. Based naman po sa SALN ng taong 2019, si VP Duterte ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na kumpanya. 1. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, 2. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation, and 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc. Ito po ba ay kinukumpirma ninyo?
Your Honor, based on the 2019 submitted SALN of the Vice President, here are the business interests and financial connections declared for that year. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, Times Square B Foods Corporation, Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc.
Salamat po. Punta naman po tayo sa taong 2020. Si VP Duterte ay mayroong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na kumpanya. 1. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, 2. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation, and 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc.
Your Honor, based on the 2020 submitted SALN of the Vice President, the following are the declared business interests and financial connections. Davao New Royal Taipan Corp., Metro City Chow Foods Corp., Times Square B Foods Corp., Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc.
Dito naman po tayo sa SALN niya sa taong 2021. Si VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroon pong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na mga kumpanya. 1. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, 2. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation, 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines Inc., 5. Carpio Duterte Lawyers, 6. Kale 88 Foods Corporation, 7. 888 Bistro, and number 8, Mandayao Fisheries Inc.
May we just request for a confirmation? No need to read again.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor, we can confirm from the submitted SALN of the Vice President for the 2021 that those mentioned by the Honorable Congresswoman were the declared business interests and financial connections for the 2021.
Okay, salamat po. Bale, 8 ho yun, ano? Based naman po sa SALN ni VP Duterte nung taong 2022, at ng kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mans Carpio ay mayroon din pong business interest and financial connections silang mag-asawa sa mga sumusunod na kumpanya. 1. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation, 2. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation, 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation. 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines, Inc. 5. Carpio Duterte Lawyers. 6. Kale 88 Foods Corporation. 7. 888 Bistro. And number 8, Madayaw Fisheries, Inc. Bali, 8 po.
Your Honor, based on the 2022 SALN of the Vice President, we can confirm that those you mentioned were those business interests and financial connection declared therein.
Salamat po. Sa taong 2023, sa SALN ni VP Duterte at ng kanyang asawang si Attorney Mans Carpio, may nakadeclare po ng mga business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod na mga negosyo. 1. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation. 2. Davao New Royal Taipan Corporation. 3. Times Square B Foods Corporation. 4. Tapang at Malasakit Alliance for the Philippines, Inc. 5. Carpio Duterte Lawyers. 6. 888 Bistro. 7. Kale 88 Foods Corporation. Number 8, Madayaw Fisheries, Inc. Number 9, Mati City Ice Plant and Cold Storage, Inc. Number 10, Amyanan Shores, Inc. And 11, Geometry Security and Investigation Agency, Inc.
Your Honor, again, basing on the 2023 submitted SALN of the Vice President, we can confirm that those you mentioned were the business interests and financial connections declared therein.
Salamat po. Ngayon pong sa taon pong 2024, ang SALN ni VP Duterte at ang kanyang asawa na si Attorney Manasseh Carpio ay mayroon din pong business interest and financial connection sa mga sumusunod po na kumpanya. 1. Metro City Chow Foods Corporation. 2. GenCorp Industries, Inc. 3. Carpio Lawyers. 4. 888 Bistro. 5. Kale 88 Foods Corporation. 6. Madayaw Fisheries Corporation. 7. Mati City Ice Plant and Cold Storage, Inc. 8. Amyanan Shores, Inc. 9. Geometry Security and Investigation Agency, Inc. And 10. Cable Tow 88 Shipping and Marine Services, Inc. Kinukupirma niyo po ba ito?
Your Honor, reading from the 2024 submitted SALN of the Vice President, we can confirm that those 10 business interests and financial connections that you have read were declared by the Vice President in her 2024 SALN.
Salamat po. So, tama po ba na base sa mga SALN ni VP Duterte at ni Attorney Mans Carpio ay kada taon ang mga business interest nila ay dumadami?
We cannot make any conclusion on the basta kung ano lang po yung binasa ninyo, we can confirm na yun po yung nakalagay sa SALN nila, Your Honor.
We know the answer of Attorney Batu.
Okay. Madam Chair, manifestation.
Yes, you may proceed.
Sana po ay merong maipakita sana sa atin kung ano ang importansya o reason ng pagdami ng mga interest sa mga negosyo ng mag-asawang Duterte Carpio. Like paglaki ng kanilang income, net worth at halaga ng kanilang yaman. Anyway, that's all, Madam Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Barbers. Any other Justice member who wish to raise questions to the Office of the Ombudsman?
Madam Chair, manifestation.
The Honorable De Lima is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Observations on what I hear, on what I saw on the screen, and the presentation of those SALNs from 2006 to 2024, the latest in the possession of the Ombudsman. Latest po yung 2024.
Yes, Your Honor.
So wala pa po yung 2025
We have not received the submission of the 2025
for
SALN of the Vice
2025. So the
President.
latest is 2024.
Yes, Your
Tatlong
Honor.
obserbasyon po. Yung kanina, yung tungkol nga po, pag sa questioning po ni Honorable Joel Chua, yung kapansin-pansin na mula 2019 to 2024, the respondent...
Honorable De Lima, kindly speak closer to the microphone. And may I share as well the matrix prepared by the Secretariat with respect to the information gathered from the SALNs of the respondent. Kindly flash the matrix of the SALN of VP Duterte. This may help Honorable De Lima in her clarificatory questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So can we see it, please, the matrix, on the first point of observation that I'm making? Yung tungkol po doon sa wala na pong naipakita o wala na pong naideclare o report na cash in bank or cash on hand from 2019 to 2024. Pero nung mga una ay meron mga rini-report na mga cash on hand or cash in bank. So, maliho atang matrix yung nakalagay dyan. Yung dapat po makita natin, yung matrix na pinapakita na wala na nga ng mga rini-report na cash on hand from 2019. Yes, it's there ho pala. So from 2019 to 2024, wala na pong cash on hand or cash in bank. Para sa akin po, ang biglaan at tuloy-tuloy na pagkawala ng deklarasyon ng liquid assets, because cash on hand and cash in bank are liquid assets. Sa kabila ng dati, meron naman na mga halaga ng mga cash on hand, cash in bank, ay nagdudulot ng pagdududa sa kawastuhan at kabuuan ng subsequent SALNs ni VP Sara. Second point of observation, Madam Chair, tungkol naman po sa liabilities. Nakita rin po natin na as to liabilities, VP Sara declared 6,954,454 in 2016. Nandyan ho ba yan? Yung liabilities, 2016, 6,954,454. At sa 2017 naman, liabilities of 6,313,188 in 2017 and 6,119,113 in 2018. At sa 2019 naman po ay 3,460,790 and 2,490,105.90 in 2020. Kapansin-pansin po na mula 2021, tanging ang kanyang asawa na si Meneses Carpio. Nagre-reflect ho ba yan dyan? Na tanging yung kanyang asawa na si Meneses Carpio ang may dineklarang mga liabilities at wala nang iniulat na utang o liability ni VP. Mako-confirm ho ba yan?
Your Honor, I'm reading from the 2021 SALN submitted by the Vice President, and it is stated there that the liabilities was a personal loan from various creditors po by Attorney Manasseh Carpio.
Yes. How about on the part of VP Sara herself? Meron pa ho ba ng mga report na liabilities in 2016, 20, beginning in 2021? Meron ho ba report na liabilities?
Let me check, Your Honor, with regard to the 2022 SALN of the Vice President. Based on the submitted 2022 SALN of the Vice President, the liabilities stated or declared therein was a personal loan of Manasseh Carpio. That's all, Your Honor, for the 2020.
Manasseh Carpio. How about 2022? So no VP, no Sara Duterte.
For the 2023 SALN, Your Honor, based on the submitted SALN by the Vice President, the liabilities declared therein was a personal loan of Manasseh Carpio, Your Honor.
Again, of Manessa Scarpio and not Sara Duterte. 2024, please.
For the 2024 SALN, Your Honor, reading from the submission of the Vice President, the liabilities were declared to be loans of Manasseh Carpio only, Your Honor, from various
Again,
creditors and
only
banks.
Manessa Scarpio and not Sara Duterte. Observation with respect to this, for the record, Madam Chair, ang ganitong biglang pagbabago sa paraan ng pag-uulat ng liabilities ay lubhang kahinahinala at nararapat siya sa atin, as it may indicate reclassification.
Louder, Honorable De Lima, please.
Ang ganito pong pagbabago sa paraan ng pag-uulat ng liabilities ay lubhang kahinahinala at nararapat siya sa atin, as it may indicate reclassification or possible circumvention of full disclosure requirements. One last point of observation, pagdating naman po sa net worth. So pinakita po kanina, we can again show po the matrix. We can
Please flash the matrix.
The respondents declared net worth increased from 34,895,997 in 2016 to 71,658,841 in 2022, the year she assumed the office of Vice President. Sa loob lamang ng 2 taon, ito ay lalo pang umakyat sa 88,512,370.22 noong 2024. Obserbasyon po, ang ganitong mabilis at medyo malaking pagtaas ng yaman with the absence of declared liquid assets and the diminution or transfer of liabilities ay nagbubunsod ng seryoso ring pagdududa hinggil sa veracity, transparency, and integrity of the Vice President's financial disclosures. So those are my observations with respect to the SALNs. Maraming salamat po.
The observations of the Honorable De Lima are noted by the committee.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Keith Flores.
Madam Chair, I just have a few questions for the Ombudsman. Madam Chair, every government employee is required to fill up a SALN, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And in that SALN, di ba, may sa bottom yan is may waiver. No? Every government employee in filling up a SALN also executes a waiver. Tama po ba?
Can we show the last page of the SALN just for reference to the question of the Honorable Flores? Please flash last page of SALN. Attorney Batu?
Your Honor, I'm reading the 2024 SALN, the last page of which reads, I hereby certify that these are true and correct statements of my assets, liabilities, net worth, business interests, and financial connections, including those of my spouse and unmarried children below 18 years of age living in my household, and that to the best of my knowledge, the above enumerated are names of my relatives in the government within the 4th civil degree of consanguinity or affinity. I hereby authorize the Ombudsman or his/her duly authorized representative to obtain and secure from all appropriate government agencies, including the Bureau of Internal Revenue, such documents that may show my assets, liabilities, net worth, business interests, and financial connections, to include those of my spouse and unmarried children below 18 years of age living with me in my household, covering previous years to include the year I first assumed office in government.
So yan nga. But that applies to all, di ba? All government employees.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sa standard siya in all SALNs na
Yes.
sinasubmit.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, yung second paragraph kasi it says na it authorizes the Ombudsman to conduct an investigation or something like that, no? Tama ba? Or to look into. Oo. To gather documents also. Yung second paragraph pa.
Based on this second paragraph, Your Honor, the Ombudsman can look into the or can secure from other government agencies yung mga documents
Yes.
pertaining to the SALNs po.
And based on that, parang paragraph, in fact, it does not even require a complaint to be filed for the ombudsman to look into these things.
Yes, Your Honor, because it's included in our functions that we can conduct a motu proprio investigation.
Who's with you, Attorney Bato?
I'm with Assistant Ombudsman Armando Sanchez Jr., Your Honor.
Sir, would you be in a better position to answer the questions? Kasi I noticed that our title is parang Central Records ata yung si Attorney
Assistant
Bato.
Ombudsman Sanchez is recognized.
Good morning, Your Honors. Yes, sir. We confirm that we can conduct motu proprio investigation.
Based on that portion of the SALN.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, now in this particular case, sir, was there an investigation ever conducted on the part of the Vice President?
Your Honor, please, with all due respect, we are not, we have no knowledge or idea if there is ongoing investigations against the PP.
Ongoing or previously wala talaga?
Yes, Your Honor,
Kasi there were
please.
reports before, di ba? I've read in the newspaper a long time ago na may investigation na kinonduct. That's not true. You're not confirming it.
Honorable Flores is reminded to confine the questions to what appears in the SALN,
I
subject
see.
matter of the subpoena.
It's just related to the waiver, madam. Anyway, I'll withdraw that question. No? So, ano na lang na sa waiver na yan, you just answered na wala kang alam na investigation being made by the ombudsman as of now.
Your Honor, as far as I'm concerned, I have no idea or knowledge regarding any investigation, Your Honor.
So, are you speaking on your personal capacity as an ombudsman or for the ombudsman as an office?
Your Honor, as Assistant Ombudsman, assisting the records officer of the Office of the Ombudsman, Your Honor.
So, not as for in behalf of the entire office of the ombudsman.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meaning somebody else might have knowledge or information about it, but not you.
I confirm, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's all, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Just for the record, the last question of the Honorable Flores springs from the waiver that appears at the last page of the SALN, whether or not, as a consequence of the waiver, there is any past or current investigation being conducted by the Office of the Ombudsman. That's for the record. Any other member who wish to? Honorable Marcoleta, please understand that you are
Madam
not a
Chair.
member of the Justice Committee. You're allowed to manifest, but you cannot raise clarificatory questions to the
Yes, ma'am,
resource
but
persons.
I'm about to
You may proceed.
raise a manifestation, ma'am, about the SALN, ma'am. First of all, let me state on record that the SALNs discussed were not attached in the original complaints. Hindi po sila kasama sa original complaints. And using the SALNs as a starting point without necessary predicate evidence supports the position that the investigation of the House of Representatives Committee on Justice is a fishing expedition. And if I may add, Madam Chair, on the SALN issue, the complaint asks this committee to obtain bank records, SALNs, coordinate with the AMLC, and forensic accounting. If so, it is an acknowledgement that the complaint is still seeking the very facts it needs to conclusively prove its SALN theory. Ma'am, malaki po kasi yung pinagkaiba ng isang complaint that already alleges ultimate facts supported by evidence, and a complaint that substantially requests this committee to authorize this committee to investigate, and perhaps we will later find the proof. And if I also raise this observation, Madam, regarding the Ombudsman, the independence of the Ombudsman may be put to question before this body. The House of Representatives Committee on Justice summons the Ombudsman before the members of Congress and the public to present the statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth of the Vice President. While the Ombudsman has an ongoing investigation before its office, the Ombudsman is mandated to have the primary duty to conduct investigations over the misconduct of public officers.
Madam Chair, point of order.
There's a point of order, Honorable Marcoleta.
Just would like to
Honorable
clarify.
Bishop Abante.
I would like to clarify to ask Congressman Marcoleta. Sinabi niya kanina, hindi kasama yung SALN sa original complaint.
Yes, he mentioned that.
Oh, I'd like to clarify. Paano niya nasabi yun? Kasama eh. Ito, nabasahin ko. Vice President Sara Duterte committed culpable violation of the Constitution and betrayed the public trust in amassing unexplained wealth and failing to disclose all her properties and interests in properties in her SALN. Nagalagay po sa complaint eh. Anong sinasabi niya na hindi kasama sa original complaint? I'd like to find out from him.
Honorable
Kaya ang hirap
Marcoleta.
noon, Chair, salita siya ng salita dito. Kinakailangan maging sure tayo na hindi nabanggit.
And if I may add, for the guidance of the honorable members and in response to the manifestation of the Honorable Marcoleta, I will be reading the specific paragraph where matters concerning SALN was mentioned in the complaint. With regards to Sabala complaint, there are allegations in paragraph 107, 108, 109, and paragraphs 285 to 290. And for Cabrera complaint, may we refer the Honorable Marcoleta as well to paragraph 20.3, paragraph 76, paragraph 77, paragraph 232, paragraph 233, 234, 235, 236, 237, 238, 239, 240, 241, 242, and even from paragraphs 244 to 246. For the information of the Honorable Marcoleta,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
mentioned
Binanggit po ang-
paragraphs contained allegations which are relevant to the SALNs of the respondent.
Yes, ma'am, it was mentioned, I think, very adequately, the word SALNs, but they were never attached to the original complaints. Parang this complaint is just merely requesting the committee to produce evidence. Ibig sabihin, wala pang ebidensya, nakikiusap sa committee na ito para mag-produce ng ebidensya na hindi nakakabit sa original complaints. Yun lang po ang sinasabi ko, ma'am.
In other words, you admit that there were a lot of times that SALNs were mentioned in the impeachment complaint. However,
They were never
not
attached.
attached in the
Opo.
impeachment
Wala pa
complaint.
pong ebidensyang nakalakip doon po sa complaint. At ngayon pa lang po natin binubuksan dahil ito po ay kumbaga request ng complainant.
Please understand as well that the compulsory process that was granted to the Justice Committee is for the purpose of testing the sufficiency of the allegations in the complaint, whether the same constitute probable cause, which is
Yeah.
the mandate of this proceeding.
Correct.
So, with all due respect, Honorable Marcoleta, it is our humble position that all the actions of this committee, including the issuance of subpoena of all these questioned SALNs by Your Honor, is in accordance with the rules of impeachment, the Constitution, and even with the decisions of the Honorable Supreme Court.
Ma'am, the court will be the better judge of that.
And that is why you should elevate that before the Honorable Court.
Maybe not me, but some other parties. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other member who wish to raise clarificatory questions to the Ombudsman? Hearing none, may we direct the committee secretary to call the Vice President
Madam
in
Chair,
order
just,
to extend to her
Madam Chair.
the opportunity to present evidence, including those which will counter the testimony provided already and the documents provided already by the Office of the Ombudsman.